who you become and who you have to be to keep a narcissist happy. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support. If you are new to the channel, this channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So this video is how you can attempt to keep a narcissist. As you will hear when you're listening to the video, not recommended. A narcissist will stick around so long as you never expose them for who they truly are. Whilever we let them, they will keep coming back weeks, months or years down the line. And yes, the trauma bond plays a big part in this, which is why we have to break the trauma bond. But whilever we let them hoover us back in, they will continue their games. To keep a narcissist happy, you must be able to provide them with constant and consistent excessive praise, admiration, support, attention, caring, kindness, willingness to lose who you are as a person, whilst also staying who you are as a person, because that's the person they envied and they wanted to exploit something from you. And you have to support them emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually and financially without expecting anything back in return from them. You must be able to deny yourself of all your hopes or your dreams or your passions. You must be willing to hand all these over to the narcissist so that they can falsely promise them to you and dash your hopes at each and every turn when they don't deliver these to you. You must make their life as fulfilling and as exciting as possible while forgetting about your own. You must be able to live without loyalty, without respect, without true intimacy, without support, without opinions and without communication. You have to be okay with being let down repeatedly, being manipulated, being gaslighted, being lied to, being cheated on, being cheated out of things. You have to be okay with living with the hope of change in the future, but remember that this is only temporary change. And you must get used to the fact that no matter how hard you try, it is always going to cycle around to them hurting you in some way again, or exploiting you or taking advantage of you in some way again. No matter how good it gets, they are always going to dash your hopes and hurt you. You must never have wants, needs, opinions, desires of your own. To a narcissist, they class you as being selfish for having your own needs, and they will say things to you like, it's not all about you, and they will then devalue you and get you to question yourself, so you work harder to please them, forgetting your own desires and focusing on helping them achieve theirs. You must allow yourself to be devalued by them without questioning their authority, to be discarded by them, to be smeared by them, without holding them accountable for their behaviour. You must accept all responsibility for anything and everything that went wrong within the relationship. You must then give them everything they want in the hope that they might return one day, not question them for why or what they have done. You must never stand up for yourself to them, because If you stand up to yourself, to them, they will take this as criticism and they will see it that you have turned against them. You have to live without happiness, without peace, without security, without confidence, without self-esteem. You must be able to live without reaching your true potential. You have to live with secrets, lies, betrayal, dishonesty, false promises, hypocrisy, slander, omission, and any other deceitful, manipulative game that the narcissist wants to throw your way. You must be accepting of these and never question their behaviour or their whereabouts. You have to live without boundaries or without any self-respect for who you are as a person. They are allowed to cross over these as and when they choose to do so, and you must not say anything against them. You must be willing to allow them as and when they please to do what they want, when they want, where they want. You can't have any aspirations within your own life or any goals that you would like to achieve for yourself. You have to put all those to one side to fulfill the narcissist dreams. To a narcissist, any boundaries or goals that you have are for them to take apart, dismantle bit by bit and destroy so that you no longer feel capable in your own abilities. You must get to the point where you no longer feel capable to be who you are as a person and do the things that you enjoy as a person in order to keep them happy. But then they don't see as much worth in you, so you have to strike that balance of being capable and of looking to meet the desire of the narcissist without overtaking that place that they've put you in. You have to find the right balance to suit them. You have to be willing to accept that the person you are giving your all to will never give anything back to you unless it meets a need of their own. They will not support you financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. If you're diagnosed with an illness or have some form of accident while you are with them, you are expected to carry on taking care of them. If they are diagnosed with an illness or have an accident while you are with them, you are expected to give up everything to take care of them. If you have an illness and you can't take care of them, you have to accept the fact that they'll be off taking care of themselves, leaving you to deal with it. And you must not question them about this when they come home, otherwise you will get the narcissist rage because you've questioned their entitlement and their authority over you. They lack the empathy to care that you aren't feeling at your best. To them, that is your fault. You will have to feel guilty for any illness you suffer from that means you cannot be there for the narcissist. You will have to feel guilty for anything that you need to do for yourself that means you cannot be there for the narcissist. You will be made to feel guilty if the narcissist ends up ill. They will blame their illness on you. You have to accept that you are worthless, and they will tell you time and time again that you've brought it all on yourself, that you're the one creating the drama, and you have to be accepting of that fact even though it's not true. You have to be willing to have your friends, your family, your co-workers, your children, your support network turned against you. You have to be willing to have no one other than the narcissist themselves. You will either have to work 2 or 3 jobs to keep the narcissist happy, or you will have to give up your career because the narcissist perceives it as better than theirs. So you will have to give up your career goals to help them achieve theirs. And they might tell you that at some point when they've achieved, they will help you, only that day will never come. You will have to live without love and respect from your own children, because the narcissist will bait the children into reacting negatively towards you. And the more the narcissist takes your self-respect and your value away from you, the more the children will recognise this within you and look more towards the narcissist for advice, guidance and support, not realising that it is their narcissistic parent that is sending you that way. You have to be willing to wake up one day to realise the narcissist has just up and left you, or things can be going along nicely and then they will just stop talking to you, while they will talk to and humiliate you with those around you. You will not be allowed any understanding as to why they've up and left or to why they are not talking to you. You must just be compliant until they are ready for you to apologise to them for the things that they have done to you. And when they do return or do start speaking to you, you mustn't question them in any way, shape or form. You must be willing to accept it and forget all about it. You are not allowed to speak of your feelings. For those feelings, you will be told that you're jealous, you're too sensitive, you're too hung up on your past, you're insecure. And you will have to admit these things to the narcissist, which aren't actually true, to help the narcissist feel better about the things that they do to you. When they return, you just have to be eternally grateful that they have returned and continue supporting, loving and caring for them. You must be willing to be wrong all the time, to admit fault, to admit defeat, to apologise and beg for forgiveness for the things that the narcissist actually did to you. And whether you really did something or not, if the narcissist believes you did something, you must work harder to make it up to them. But not too hard, because they don't want you doing better than themselves. You need to stay in your place. You also have to apologise for not stopping them from making the wrong decision, for not giving them the attention they believed that they deserved, even though they don't have to give you any attention. You have to apologise to them for neglecting you, and if they neglect you, you have to accept that that's who they are and do your best to help them neglect you. You must never offer any kind of advice or suggestions as a narcissist. They didn't think of it, will see this as criticism and can rage, sulk or silent treatment out of nowhere. Whether you meant well or not, you need to keep your mouth shut and not offer them any form of advice, because they are able to think of it all by themselves. And if you have and they've raged, it's because they already knew what they needed to do. When they come back to you, you have to be willing to be perfect in every way, to apologise to them for any mistake they have made. Beg them for forgiveness. Take full responsibility for their hurtful actions towards you. Take full responsibility for how you feel and how they feel. Neglect how you feel to help them through their feelings. You must never show any form of sadness or resentment. You must never cry in front of them. Do not show any emotions that might question the narcissist's behaviour or the narcissist's self-esteem, the narcissist's reality of how their version of events went. If they come back to you, do not express any emotion other than eternal gratitude and happiness. In the house, even if they're setting an environment to sink you, you have to know exactly how you need to feel and behave around them. If they are miserable, you need to be miserable. If they are happy, sometimes you need to be happy, sometimes you need to be miserable. Depends on what the narcissist needs at the time. You have just got to mind read and do that before they even know what they want from you. You must never, ever abandon them, but they can abandon you as and when they choose. You have to give up your time as and when they want you. You have to put your life on hold as and when they need you. No questions asked. Just do as they say and not as they do. If they up and leave, you have to wait patiently for them to return without causing them any form of narcissistic injury, without exposing them. You have to do exactly what they say when they say it until they are bored of the new supply and want to come back to you. You must be able to appreciate the uncertainty, the anxieties, the depression, the feelings of being on edge, and blame yourself for those feelings, not their behaviour. You must be accepting of their patterns of behaviour and who they are as a person, knowing full well they'll never be accepting of who you are as a person. You need to tread that tightrope of not devaluing yourself too much, because then they don't see you as worthy, but not doing too much because then they see you as better than themselves. They envy you and they seek to devalue you and bring you down to a point where they don't want you down too much. So you are the one that needs to walk on that tightrope and find that balance to suit the narcissist. You must offer eternal gratitude for any slight thing that they don't even do for you. You have to be eternally grateful that they've accepted you into their life. You have to be tolerant enough of their abuse, but strong enough to keep your sanity. Narcissists don't like people who've gone crazy, gone insane, stood up for themselves or fought back. So you need to make sure you don't fight back. You don't react, you don't go crazy. But you will have to react at certain times when they want you to react, so that they can blame you, so that you have to then make it up to them. You just have to be aware of when those times are appropriate for the narcissist, especially in front of an audience, so it can help with their smear campaign against you. They like to humiliate you and bait you into reacting in front of other people, because that often matches the stories the narcissist has already told about you. And you must be willing to defend yourself when the narcissist wants you to play into their mind games. You must do as the narcissist says without any faking it. You need to mean what you say and mean what you do, yet they don't have to mean what they say, and they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. You need to be willing to live every day of your life without truth, honesty, loyalty and respect. You must live every day of your life knowing that person that you love with all your heart so unconditionally will never love or understand you. You must be willing to accept that the harder you try to please them, the more they will despise you. The more you try to stand up to them, the more they will despise you. The more you try to be yourself, the more they will despise you. The more you try to make it work with them, the more they will despise you. You have to live with the fact that whatever you do will never be enough for them. You have to be willing to have your home repossessed, your car taken from you, your finances drained, your credit maxed out, often leading to you being homeless while they've moved in with somebody new and in their comfy bed to repeat the cycle again. You then have to pick yourself up and get yourself back on your feet and be prepared to take the narcissist back when they've done the exact same that they did with you to the new. You have to become void of any feelings, any emotions. You have to become a shell of your former self, always on edge, always anxious, never knowing who they are going to be one day to the next, but not showing them any of this within you. You have to put that smile on your face to them and show them the person that they want you to be. No matter what's going on in your life, you have to be happy and joyful around them. Unless something's going wrong in their life, and then you have to pull yourself down to make them feel better. When you get out of the relationship, you have to be willing to be smeared. So yes, in one way you can make it work with a narcissist relationship. You have to lose everything about who you are, be everything they want you to be, and you have to be willing to repeat this cycle throughout your entire life, often ending up with many mental health issues that you will not get the support from the narcissist from, many physical issues that you will not get the support from the narcissist from. No matter who you are for a narcissist, it will never be good enough for them. So at some point you have to make the choice to step away from them so that you can be good enough for yourself, so that you can find the right people that will love and support you for who you are as a person, as you would love and support them for who they are as a person.